Hello, hello, and God bless each of you. I am so excited to have you here for the Value of Me series, talking about building self esteem. I'm Dr. Kimberly Clay. I am your host and facilitator for this class. What I need from you right now is for you to go and to like this experience, to share it. Hit that share button. And I need you to tag someone. Someone may be still saying, how do I tag? Well, go into that chat section below, hit the @ sign, and just start typing letters, and your friends and family will come up and you can tag them and let them know that the value of me and Dr. Clay is on. And this is so important to you that you want to make it a gift to them. How about that? Go and tag, like, and share. And also, once you get done doing that, I need you to hit the hearts. Hit the hearts like you're going crazy in here on today. Let me know that you're excited as I am about the value of me, about this experience, this educational class that we're sharing together. We're taking out the time to do the work. Many times people don't want to do the work, but we're going to do the work. So I'm giving you a few moments as I welcome you to like, to share, and to tag. I am so excited that you are here. I know that you've had an amazing day already, but we're going to end the evening well together. We're going to have plenty of good thoughts to think on as we close out this evening. Go ahead and like, share, and tag, and I'll be right back with you after this announcement. See you in a minute. Hello, ladies. It's time for Extraordinary Women 2024 Empowerment Conference, Saturday, November 2nd and Sunday, November 3rd, 2024. Hilton Garden, 4100 Glover Lane, North Little Rock, Arkansas, 72117 is the location for the Saturday, November 2nd event at 10 o'clock a.m. Sunday, November 3rd at 3 o'clock p.m. will be at the Anointed Praise and Worship Ministries Pine Bluff campus at 2901 South Willow Street, Pine Bluff, Arkansas, 71603. Your host is Dr. Kimberly Clay, Ph.D., organizational psychologist. You can reach her at 972-589-1925 or email familyvibesinc at gmail.com. Go now and register at a discount at www.drkimberlyclay.com. Again, register at drkimberlyclay.com. This event is hosted by Family Vibes Counseling and Dr. Kimberly Clay, business coach, organizational psychologist. So join us. Go ahead and get registered. Invite your girls to join you for Extraordinary Women 2024 Empowerment Conference, November 2nd and 3rd. Hello, everyone. Dr. Clay here, the founder of Family Vibes Counseling and the executive director of such as well. I am just super excited to get this education experience on the road. Don't take that announcement that you just heard lightly. Get registered. The early bird registration is open now for Extraordinary Women Empowerment Conference 2024. Get on there, drkimberlyclay.com, and register for that event. We are here in the series, The Value of Me. The value of me, building healthy self-esteem. Last week we started in talking about healthy self-esteem and introducing what we're going to be studying for this lesson. But I want us to go into part 2. But before we do that, I need to give you another opportunity. In case you just joined us, welcome to Family Vibes Counseling Channel on all of our platforms. But I need you to like this education experience. I need you to share it, and I need you to tag others in this educational experience. Hit the @ in the chat and start typing your friends and family's names in. Love them enough to share this with them. Sharing is caring. I'm telling you, these are early lessons that we learn in our social world. It's part of our social responsibility. The value of me. So although we give attention to others, there is a certain level of attention that we owe ourselves, and that's what we're studying in the value of me. This is part 2. We do tend to spend a great deal of time comparing ourselves to others. Social media depictions are a detriment to our self-esteem. We're told to love our neighbor as ourselves in the Word of God. But how do we love our neighbor if we don't properly know how to love ourselves? Come on, I need y'all to hit the hearts in the comments. Let me know that you're with me. We're learning to love ourselves. Before we can love our neighbors, our friends, our families properly, we have to learn how to efficiently and effectively love on ourselves. Self-esteem, we've studied, and we're going to state it again for the note takers. It's how we value and perceive ourselves. It's based on our opinions and beliefs about ourselves. You know, I told y'all I'm not going to get on here and just point and say, you need to do this, you need to do that. No, we're going to learn in this experience together. I'm just excited about how we're going to grow and develop and change together. So our self-esteem is based on our opinions and beliefs about ourselves, which can feel difficult many times to change. We might also think of self-esteem as self-confidence, and that is for sure the truth. Self-esteem and self-confidence are one and the same. Self-esteem is your subjective, your personal experience, that personal sense of overall personal worth or value rolled up in one. How do you feel about yourselves? How do we feel about ourselves? Self-esteem is that subjective experience. Similar to self-respect, it describes your level of confidence in the abilities and attributes that you have, the ones that are God-given, the ones that are attained throughout life experiences. Our self-esteem is rolled up into how do we value who we are and what we have to give to the world. Take a moment and think about that. How do you value yourself? What value or worth do you place into who you really are and what you have to offer? Once we can answer that question, we can really see how much of a self-esteem issue or deficit that we have. Having a healthy self-esteem can influence, and we learned this last week for those of you who were in the introductory class. Having a healthy self-esteem can influence our what? Motivation. It can influence our well-being, our mental well-being, as well as our overall quality of life. Again, healthy self-esteem can influence our motivation, mental well-being, and our overall quality of life. Here are 5 things that I'm going to give you today that will keep us from improving our self-esteem and living a better life. That's the whole point. The whole point of sharing these educational sessions and experiences, because this is a session. This is a group session, though it be virtual. This is a session. Family Vibes Counseling is a nonprofit organization that helps families, marriages, individuals, teens. We do teen talk with Dr. Clay, as well as our Family Vibes Women's Refuge homes. This is all to make sure that we get what we need, that we get the help that we need. So 5 things that are going to help us to improve self-esteem and living a better life. Let's start with number 1. Come on, note takers. And I do need someone to help make sure these get in the comments in case somebody's driving or unable to write them down right now. They can go back and gather. Number 1, not acknowledging that you have power over your self-esteem. Stop it. Cut it out. 5 things that's going to keep us from healthy self-esteem. We want to stop these things. Anything that we're doing, when there are bad habits, we have to replace those bad habits with something good in our lives. These are 5 things that we're going to take out of our behavior. We're going to change the behavior and we're going to replace it with something better. So not acknowledging that you have power over your self-esteem is one of the beginning ways to take control. The good news is that self-esteem is learned, not inherited. Self-esteem is learned, people. Come on, family. It's not inherited. So low self-esteem can be unlearned. When you identify and fight the culprits that are bringing low self-esteem into your life. As children, the way people treat and react to us has a huge effect on what we think of ourselves. It's true. If our parents, our siblings, teachers, or classmates are mean and discouraging to us, we might naturally begin to expect that treatment and even think that we deserve it. Come on, when people are mean to us as young people, as children, we naturally begin to think in our minds that treatment is deserved by us. But it's not. We might inevitably find ourselves seeking it out in subconscious ways. Those feelings stay with us into our teenage years, from childhood and even long into adulthood, unless we learn how to change them. Those feelings that we feel about ourselves because of what people said to us. You will never do anything. You will never succeed. You will never prosper. No, you will. It's time to unlearn these unfavorable behaviors that we cling to and we attain for ourselves. Sometimes the people say it, but we make sure that it happens. That negativity, we allow it to fester and to linger in our lives, and we live out what somebody else has said or set out for us in our lives. Everyone experiences periods of self-doubt. We've all done it. We've doubted ourselves or what we're capable of or how valuable we really are. Even people who always seem self-confident and in control are just better at hiding their uncertainty and fear. They've learned a coping skill to manage their insecurity. Anyone can learn those skills with simple, consistent practice. It begins with recognizing your thoughts and understanding these 2 forms of self-esteem. So look at this. I'm going to tell you about 2 forms of self-esteem. You may have never heard of this, but I'm doing my organizational psychology education today, and we're learning 2 types of self-esteem. The first one is global, and it means just like it sounds. How we feel about who we are overall. Global self-esteem. This improves as we face our fears about ourselves. Come on, I know I'm talking good. Y'all give me the hearts. Let me know. Global self-esteem, how we feel about who we are overall as a whole, and it improves as we face fears about ourselves and learn from our experiences. Global self-esteem identifies the things that make us uncomfortable and how we react to them, helps us change the way we think that we naturally are. Sometimes we think that we're one way, but we are really not. But how we feel about who we are overall is our global self-esteem. Overall, in a nutshell, self-esteem. But situational is the second kind of self-esteem that we have to monitor. It's how we feel about what we're doing at any particular moment. Situational. When we make a mistake, it's easy to think we're just a screw up and we can't do anything right. I've had people tell me this in sessions, group sessions, individual sessions. I mess up everything. I just mess up. When our insecurities are raised, we shut down and we become self-defeating. And we're going to have a whole session in the future about what I call self-sabotage. Many times we do that. We will sabotage our own lives and our own selves because we follow through on the thoughts of others that have sown negativity into our lives, and we act out on that and we sabotage our own lives. So global self-esteem is what we keep in mind about who we are overall to ourselves. And situational is how we feel at any given moment, any particular moment. But we have to understand that we do have power. That's number one. Stop acting as if you don't understand that you have power over your self-esteem. You do. We have power over our own self-esteem. And I just need you to say that with me. I'm going to start to change the way I feel about me. Come on, say it. Say it in the chat. Say it out loud to yourself, wherever you are. I can change. I'm going to start to change how I feel about me. Number two, the number two thing to stop doing. We're building healthy self-esteem here. We're not going to take it anymore. Not taking it anymore. Trying to be perfect. Number two. You may already be familiar with perfectionism. Nothing is ever good enough for a perfectionist. I'm guilty myself. Perfectionism, it has to be exactly right every time. No ifs, ands, and buts. I won't start until everything is exactly the way I think it should be. Not so true. It's a frustrating life to live. Stop trying to be perfect. There's a difference in being perfect and striving for excellence. We want to strive for excellence. Why put ourselves through this torture of trying to be perfect? Trying to be perfect for any and everyone else except for ourselves. Do you think that everyone holds the same idea of what perfect really looks like? We want to strive for excellence, which means that we can move mountains or emotionally harm ourselves doing things to please others, and it still might not be enough. Largely because their idea of perfect is different from yours. Perfection is a sliding scale. There isn't just one definition of it. Instead of thinking of perfection as society's idea or the hottest or the smartest, try thinking of your personal goals and striving to make them a reality. Personal goals. I need you to start identifying personal goals and what you want to do with your life, yourself. Get a notebook. I tell all of my clients, I tell all of my group attendees, get a notebook and write down your goals. Write down your ideas. Keep that book with you all the time. It really is an effective way to keep up with what you want to do and what you're accomplishing on a daily basis. What does perfection mean to you at any given moment? Once you've answered that question for yourself, you'll let go and accept that you did the very best you could in that moment. We're so hard on ourselves sometimes. And trying to be perfect for others really creates a barrier to our healthy self-esteem. Number 3, these things to stop. Drowning yourself with negative thoughts. This is a definite no. We don't want to live like this. Number 3, drowning yourself with negative thoughts. Self-drowning is the act of defining your entire character based on one single action. We tend to do it every time we mess up something, immediately thinking, I'm such an idiot. I can't believe I did that. Listen, mistakes are going to happen a lot. Learning to accept that they don't define us, mistakes do not define us, and knowing that we can do better in the future. Y'all, that's called excellence. Learning from our mistakes so that we plan to do better in the future, that is excellence. We can break the cycle that keeps our self-esteem low. If you focus on viewing each mistake as the opportunity to learn, your perspective on most circumstances will set you free. Come on, focus on the mistakes that you make as a stepping stone to do better in future endeavors. Okay, so that particular endeavor failed, but guess what? I won't fail again because I'll do it better the next time. I'll be better. I'll be better prepared, mentally prepared, ready for this. That sets us free. There are many ways to retrain our brain from a negative one to a positive one. Y'all, all is not lost. Many people say you can't teach an old dog new tricks, but that is just not true. We've learned that we can retrain the brain from being negative to a positive one, creating little reminders all around that you're perfectly okay. How God made you, but we make slow changes to our feelings about ourselves. That way we use a stair-step approach. Seeing what's visually important, we approach everything with the stair-step approach. We start here and we gradually move up and we improve in our lives endeavors. I know it sounds easier said than done, but if we practice, guys, we can get this. We can get it down packed, and we can do better about loving ourselves so that we can love on one another. You may write things down. Come on, talking about drowning ourselves in negative thoughts. You may write things down that you don't automatically believe about yourself. You know, self-affirmations. I'm beautiful, or I'm loved. I'm smart. But you write those things down anyway, and you put them where you can see them every single day. Somebody say every single day. Preferably, we would do this a few times a day. So when we write these affirmations down, I suggest using Post-it notes, sticky notes. We will put these in a place where we can see them several times a day, every day. And when we walk by, we read the note out loud to ourselves or in the mirror. Put them on the mirror, on the wall, in places where we frequent. and you tell yourself, I'm beautiful, or I'm loved, or I'm smart, I'm prosperous, I'm doing well, several times a day. This is good. Y'all, come on. Throw up the hearts. I know I'm talking good. I know this is good stuff. Many times we don't hear this positivity to be sown into ourselves. So let's dive in. Let's take this time to just glean from this educational experience so that we can be better to ourselves. By reading this over and over, the subconscious, meaning below the conscious level, not even trying, that mind just hears it and it tries to play it. Your mind will begin to accept those beliefs. And the way we behave and view ourselves will automatically shift, y'all. Automatically start to shift. That stair-step approach. The more that we affirm and tell ourselves that we're great, we're beautiful, we're loved, we're smart, the more our minds will start and tend to believe what we've said. And we'll start to believe it. It'll be automatic, just a shift taking place. It'll be unbelievable. And I love you just this much, where I just want to help. I want to see us get better together. We're going to do it together. These sessions are so important. I really appreciate you taking out this time to share with me. So what we have so far is, number one, things that we're not going to do as we're building healthy self-esteem. We're not acknowledging that we don't have power over self-esteem, because we do have power. We're going to stop acting like we don't have the power to change it. We do. Number two, we're going to stop trying to be perfect for everyone else, and we're going to do the things and accomplish the goals that make us happy in our lives. The things that bring us joy, the things that bring us fulfillment. That's what we're going to strive towards. That's what we're going to do in our lives. Number three, we're going to stop drowning ourselves with negative thoughts. Stop repeating what the devil has said to you. Stop repeating what negative people have brought to your lives. No longer. Somebody say no more. Tell your neighbor no more. No more. We will not drown ourselves in negative thoughts. We will not put ourselves out of our misery with negativity. We're going to move forward. We're going to be positive, and we're going to build a healthy self-esteem. That's why we're here. Number four, things we're not going to do. Number four, letting others treat us badly or being mean to us. Like I said before, much of how we feel about ourselves comes from how people treated us growing up. Much about ourselves, so much about ourselves comes from how people treated us growing up. But as we get older, we realize how we don't want to be treated, and we shouldn't accept anything short of what we want. It's incredibly important for our self-esteem. Listen, follow me now. It's important for our self-esteem that we create boundaries for how people are allowed to treat us. No, you're not going to treat me any kind of way. You're not going to be mean to me. You're not going to treat me badly. You're not going to put me in a negative headspace. I will not allow it. Letting people walk all over us. Y'all know it. Letting people walk all over us and keeping regular contact with people who are disrespectful to us. That really reinforces our negative feelings. I'm going to say it again. Letting people walk all over us and keeping that regular contact with people who disrespect us, that reinforces our negative feelings, because when we continue to make ourselves available to people who beat us up, who are very mean or treat us badly, We say, I'm giving you access, even though I know you're disrespectful to me. I'm giving you access, so I'm just putting in those feelings, just reinforcing it all the more. I'm giving you access to do whatever it is negative that you want to do in my life. Guess what? No. Stop it. Stop the madness. Stop the madness. Do not let people walk all over you. Identify some ways people have made you feel bad about yourself in the past. I know sometimes we don't like talking about it. We don't like to bring it up, but it takes us thinking about it and reflecting in order to change the situation. We have the power to change how we feel about ourselves, and it has to do with our relationship with others. Remember the ways that we felt bad because of others in the past so that we can react differently in the future. And not allow people to walk over us and do whatever they want to us. But we control the narrative on this situation. Each relationship, and keep in mind when I say relationship, remember, we're not just talking romantic relationships. We're talking every sort of connection and network that we have. Friends, family, all of these relationships. Friendships, co-workers, family members. They're in our lives to participate in the lessons we share together in an effort for our souls and personalities to grow and to develop. So even the things that you're learning here in the value of me, the things that you're learning with Dr. Clay, with Family Vibes Counseling on our channel here, on all of our social media outlets, everything that you're learning, everything that we're gaining here together, you're learning this not just for yourself, but to share those with others, the people that you share relationships with, the people that you build bonds with in your lifetime. We're going to practice this with ourselves, but we're going to share the positivity with others. Therefore, we learn that each encounter is there to teach us what we will accept, what we will not accept, what we want, and or what we need. I'm going to say it again. Each encounter, I'm talking about each and every encounter, is there to teach us what we will and won't accept, what we want and or what we need for ourselves. Use your past experiences to determine your boundaries and draw that line in the sand. Let people know how they're making you feel, even if you believe that their respect for you will stop any hurtful or disrespectful behavior towards you, even with others. There are people who love you enough that they won't allow other people to disrespect you. Know who those people are. Let people know how they're making you feel. Let people know if they're being negative towards you. Many people spew off things that have been spewed off on them. Because the truth is, hurt people hurt people. If that isn't enough to get them to stop, then you don't need that person in your life. And truly, you should move on to others who will want to respect you. It's just simple as that. We have to be around people who feed into the positivity of our lives. The hardest part is realizing that the person you thought may want better for you, they really don't. Isn't that something to realize, to think that somebody really wanted better for us, but when we sit and really gauge and look and think about it, they never did? 9.9 times out of 10, accepting that and moving on is your best chance at happiness. Trying to make someone love you or make someone respect you who obviously doesn't have any respect for themselves or you is a losing battle. Let them go and move on with life. And yes, it can be difficult to move or to walk away from people, especially people we're close with, like friends or family. But protecting your own sense of self-worth is much, much more important than maintaining a harmful relationship. So important, y'all. Protecting our own sense of self-worth is more important than maintaining a harmful relationship. When the offending person decides to respect the way you've asked to be treated, then they can become a part of your life. But more times than not, that person is never going to respect you because they have a bad habit of disrespecting your personal sense of self-worth. And number 5, the thing that I want to share with you to stop doing: being awful to those around us. See, we've always talked and focused on the people who were mean to us or who treated us wrongly. But I just said it. Hurt people hurt people. Are we the ones who are treating people badly because of how we feel? Being in a bad mood can cause us to mistreat others. Imagine constantly being in a bad mood because you can't stand yourself. Some of you know how this feels. The people that abuse and harm others often have self-esteem issues of their own. So just because someone has a self-esteem issue does not mean that we transfer that negative energy off onto someone else. The people that abuse and harm others have self-esteem issues of their own. We don't want to continue to transfer this chain along. We want to stop it. That's one major reason why it's important to treat others as you would like to be treated. They may be struggling and need some encouragement. Helping others. Come on, y'all, stay with me. Put up the hearts if you know I'm talking good, because I am. Helping others is a surefire way to develop a feeling of importance and value about ourselves. Helping friends and family, volunteering in the community. Oh, I love volunteering, helping in our community, or fostering children and pets can give you a huge boost of positivity. Seeing how you've made others happy. Do we ever go back and reflect and look and see if we made others happy, how happy we've made someone else, how much joy we brought to someone else's life, how much positivity we've given to others? Seeing how we've made others happy is rewarding, and so is seeing how other people do actually want or need you around. Y'all, I'm telling you, this is so important. Our self-esteem is how we value and perceive ourselves. Having healthy self-esteem can influence our what? Motivation, our mental well-being, and our overall quality of life. And on today, I've shared with you 5 things that we've got to stop doing that will keep us from improving our self-esteem and living a better life. Don't you want a better life? Don't you want to feel better about yourself? You should value yourself more. Number 1, stop it. 5 things to stop. And this is number 1. Not acknowledging that you have the power over self-esteem. You do have power. That global self-esteem, the overall feeling about who you are and what you're worth. And then pay attention to that situational and make sure that just because you failed in one area, you don't use that as your overall view of yourself. Number 2, stop trying to be perfect. Cut out the perfectionism and strive for excellence. Do your best every time every day, everywhere, on every assignment. Do your absolute very best, and you'll be striving for excellence. Number 3, things to stop. We're building healthy self-esteem. Stop drowning yourself with negative thoughts. Self-drowning, the act of defining your entire character based on a single action. Stop telling yourself that you have no worth. Stop telling yourself that you are not worthy to be loved. You're not worthy to be respected. You're not worthy to be appreciated, because you are. Number 4, stop letting others treat you badly or be mean to you. Just stop it. Nip it in the bud. It's important for our self-esteem that we create boundaries. Somebody say boundaries. For how people are allowed to treat us. We allow this. They don't do this without our consent, because if we're not around, they're not able to do it. And number 5, being awful to those who are around us. Transferring the negative energy that we've been given and dump our trash on someone else. Stop that madness. We're not going to be awful. We're not going to be mean. We're not going to be negative to others because of how we're feeling. But we're going to help. We're going to stop and help ourselves to gather ourselves together, get to ourselves, and change that train of thought. Change the actions that come. Change those behaviors. Redirect our energy to work on ourselves instead of being negative to another person. We don't want to be hurt people that hurt others. We want to heal so that we can learn how to properly love ourselves, and then we can learn to love others. I enjoy this time that we spend together being educated. We're starting with this series called The Value of Me, because loving ourselves is so important to who we are, to what we do, to the world that's ever changing. And I need for you and I to be a part of that world together as we continue to change. So value yourself. Before you can love your neighbor, you have to learn how to love yourself. Stop the negative behavior that keeps us from living to our fullest potential. I love you so much, and I want to see you in a better place. I want to see you living a blessed and a prosperous life. So I look forward to this time with you every Monday at 8 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time, no matter what coast you're on. 8 o'clock Central, 6 o'clock on the West Coast, 9 o'clock on the East Coast. Come on, let's do this together. We're better together. We're building strong families. We can do this. We're going to build ourselves up. We do have the power over our self-esteem. We're not going to try to be perfect. We're not going to drown ourselves with negative thoughts. We're not going to let others treat us badly. And we're not going to be awful to the people that are around us. But we're going to address the negativity, get it out of our lives, remove people who disrespect us, and we're going to learn to move forward. I thank you. Thank you for supporting Family Vibes Counseling. You help us in our communities just by watching all the research that we're able to do, the feedback. Let us know how you enjoy the classes. If you'd like to join our email list, join us. You can email us at familyvibesinc@gmail.com, or you can text us 972-589-1925. I'm Dr. Kimberly Clay. I love you, and I'll see you next Monday at 8 o'clock p.m. Stay tuned for the ways to donate into Family Vibes. Love you.